When I was 8, I had a recurring dream over a period of months. I once was awake 72 hours because I was too afraid to sleep. The dream, I'm in our basement with my sisters getting something to drink. Suddenly my sisters' faces start to get weird. Their mouths and noses get really small, and pretty much 90% of the face is their eyes. I start to run upstairs, but a creature grabs my neck and pulls me up. The face was like a normal one, but it had another skin above it. It started to scream like a demon, and I just can't do anything else but screaming back. My mother said in the first night I screamed 3 hours before I woke up. I hate our basement. My very first nightmare I can remember was when I was 5. I had a friend named Gracie, and in my dream we were at her house drawing with chalk on her deck. She lived on a cliff, and beneath it, instead of water, it was kind of like the Badlands in Lion King, just thickets of thorns stretched out as far as I could see. Well, Gracie's mom came out and started yelling at us for drawing on the deck. But the weird thing was, this lady wasn't Gracie's mom. She was something evil, and I could tell. It was like she was transforming into something dark and ugly in front of my eyes, but Gracie couldn't see it. Long story short, she finds out that I know she is evil and throws both of us off the cliff. I hit the bottom and open my eyes and see Gracie with thorns sticking to her. Then the dream just ends. Fast forward to 2nd grade, I go into school one day and Gracie isn't there. My teacher told the class that she had drowned while riding her tricycle beside the pool at her house. Gracie's parents fill in the pool, file for divorce, and move. Fast forward 8 years, my younger brother has been born now. My church builds a walk trail through our backyard. My brother is 7 and I'm 14. We are walking, and out of nowhere he points to her house and says, "Gracie says hello." I said, "What are you talking about, Cam?" And he says, "The wet girl." I have never told him about Gracie. Last week I started dreaming that I was in an apartment. Everything seemed real, and there were a few cats moving about like cats do. Suddenly though, one of the cats jumped off the balcony and made me start realizing that something was off. I walked to the kitchen of this apartment and sat down. Suddenly a cat jumps onto the chair next to mine, and I turn away because looking at it felt like looking at the sun. However, it was not bright. Then this cat starts slowly morphing into a different creature with a messed up, disturbing face. I watch through the corner of my eye while another cat jumps onto the table. I hear a bang outside the window, so I look the other way, away from the cats. When I look back, the second cat has morphed into a sort of humanoid creature. I can't see its body, but its face is clear, squarish, pale, completely featureless except for 2 completely black eyes. Suddenly it feels like the entire world is moving towards me even though I am still. I wake up in my room. This creature is still there staring right into my eyes, and I can't move. It's getting closer. I decide to somehow push myself off my bed so that I can awaken from the nightmare. I slowly twitch my way to the edge of the bed while this thing is coming towards me at a steady pace. Then I fall off the edge and black out. Couldn't sleep well for days, scared that it would return. There's actually this monster that used to appear constantly in my dreams. I call it the Darkness. I've never seen the monster's main form, but it can appear any way it wants to. Usually there are 2 ways this monster will appear. The monster will at first appear like a normal person in a crowded place, like a mall. I will, at first, not even realize that it is the Darkness, but then things in my dream will change. It will continue to appear more and more in its human form. This is usually when I feel something's not right. Then everyone else, except for the Darkness, still in its human form, will disappear. Then, keeping in its human form, it will run towards me at extremely fast speeds, and once it reaches me, it will grab me. After that, the dream will end. This way is more rare, but it is where this monster got its name. I will usually be in some room in my house, and for whatever reason, I will go to another room. The room I enter will be dark, and as soon as I enter, I know what is going to happen. If I try to escape this room, I will just be pulled right back. Things get suspenseful. Then I just close my eyes. It is habit for me to do this because I can escape my dreams this way. Then it grabs me and the dream ends. The only detail I have gotten from when it has grabbed me in my true form is that it has extremely long fingers. I don't know what it looks like because, like I said, I always close my eyes when it appears. As I've gotten older, the darkness has been appearing less and less. So, I can't really describe some details because it has been a long time since it has last appeared. The worst nightmare I've ever had was recurring and absolutely horrifying. Even after a year and a half, I cannot for the life of me forget the details. I come to and notice I'm strapped down. My head is pounding. I can feel the blood rush with every heartbeat. A man with a face shrouded in shadow and an attire almost as insidious regards me as I attempt to gain control of my consciousness. "Who are you?" I manage to sputter out, the words stammering over my limp jaw. The man laughs and walks forward into the light. I see he's wearing a mask, which is why his face appeared blank in the shadows. His voice full of poison, he says to me, "Who I am does not matter. It is you that matters, and when I'm done, you're going to wish that you had never known the things you do." My head is reeling, and I can hardly form a coherent thought, let alone a proper response. I attempt to ask another question, but all that I utter is total nonsense. The man leaves the room. I lay there, strapped to the table, for an ungodly, insurmountable period of time. As my head clears, I try to keep track of the passing seconds, minutes, hours, but to no avail. Finally, the door creaks open. The man is back, but he's brought with him company. A woman, gagged and tied, is pushed roughly into the room and falls noisily onto the cold floor. I recognize the face in an instant. She's a friend of mine, albeit not a very close one. The man sets about tying her into a chair and puts her at gunpoint before turning to me. "If you want your friend to live, I have a deal for you. Tell me where it is hidden, and you, your friends, and your family will be released." His cold voice and emphasis on whatever item it is leads to a very sinister chill up my back. "Let her go," I shout, panicking. "I have no idea what you're looking for." The man shakes his head, and out comes a small TSK noise. "That's a right shame. I was hoping we could do this the easy way." Before I can say another word, he pulls the trigger, and my friend goes limp. I scream out in fear and anger as the man leaves the room again. Time and time again he comes and goes, his torture methods quite ingenious. I watch friends and family alike fall to his cruel punishment, be it by gun or electricity, bleeding out or poison. And all the while, I am forced to sit there watching. Closing my eyes didn't block out the sound of my sister screaming, the iron scent of blood in the air. There's nothing I can do to help them. I haven't a clue what he wants from me. One day, the man has a different air about him. By this point, weeks have passed, and I've lost almost everyone I care about. On the brink of insanity, and beyond the point of words and coherent emotion, I've become all but unresponsive to his methods, preferring to suffer in silence. But this time, he's got something else planned. He binds me in a position with my arm outstretched, only fingers able to move, and puts a gun in my hand. In front of me, with the barrel of a gun pressed to her forehead, is my darling mother, tears glistening on her cheeks. I let out a small whimper of pain, and the man laughs his cold, hard laugh. This is your last chance. If you do not tell me where it is, your friends and family will all be dead, and you will be returned to the outside world with the knowledge that it is you that caused their suffering. I don't know anything. I've told you. I plead desperately. The man turns toward me for the last time. I've had enough of this. You will not tell me, and so you will be the one to end her life. A jolt of electricity shoots through my arm, and my finger pulls the trigger.